Okay.
Just get all relaxed and just start doing it.
All right.
Have you watched any of Noé's other films since Irreversible?
Oh yeah. I recently saw his short Carne, and it was
Sorry,
really
hold on.
good.
Forgot to
Okay.
mute the
Sorry.
stream. I was getting a double audio feed there. Sorry, but continue.
All right. So like I said, I saw his first short. I mean his short Carne, and I was really impressed by it, and how much he made, the impact he made with that short film,
Mm.
right? I mean, it got a very well it got a very well reception at Cannes Film Festival, if I'm not
Yeah, yeah.
mistaken. Yeah, and I was shocked by it. I mean, just how he with just one single character can tell so much.
Yeah, yeah. Did you see I Stand Alone after that?
I got it. I haven't watched it already because I think when you want to watch something by Gaspar Noé, you have to be in a certain state of mind, right?
Yeah, you have
Like
to
when
be
you watch,
braced for
yeah,
it.
yeah, when you watch like 2001: A Space Odyssey, like you have to be prepared for it because it's something greater than life, I think.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, you got to be kind of
Yeah,
willing to give yourself over to it completely.
yeah, it's really it's really something else because I remember watching Love with my girlfriend and we enjoyed it, and but it was really shocking at first because I've never seen something quite like it. Not even on films like Nymphomaniac by Lars von Trier.
Hmm.
I mean, because I think Nymphomaniac is really not that great of a film.
Ooh, okay.
Why you think it's a good film?
I think it may, arguably, I would put it alongside Breaking the Waves as perhaps Lars von Trier's best.
Well, I see. I kind of see that because the visual style of the movie is really great.
Yeah.
The way the film is edited, it's really great. I don't know. There's sometimes like I feel like Lars von Trier is kind of just wrote what he was thinking about at that moment and just said to Charlotte Gainsbourg like, yeah, like just say this. This is what I think, right? Not that doesn't stem from like the character, but just I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah.
something that like, yeah, because the can incident was reason at that time, right? And there are many
Yeah.
things on the film that like I think he's trying to cover up or like clarify to the audience.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that actually.
But yeah, like the infamous part where Joe tells Seligman about his relationship with the 15-year-old, I think that's very obvious.
Sorry, you cut out for a second there. The scene where what?
Where
Oh, oh,
Joe tells Seligman about his relationship with the 15-year-old girl.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I think
Oh,
that's there's really notorious about what Lars wanted to clarify to the audience, right?
uh, in the whole thing, like with like the character Joe, like her adopted daughter. You talking about that whole sequence?
I think where she starts having a relationship with the with the 15-year-old, I think by the third act.
Yeah, yeah, okay. What
Yeah,
what what is that related to?
like I think Lars is trying to like clarify some things that he strongly believes to the audience. Like I don't think that was written like on an on a like a dialogue you would hear on a Tarantino film. I think it's kind of like
Oh,
a
yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, this is what I think. This is
Yeah,
me. This is Lars. Yeah,
it's kind of like an artist having a conversation
but
with himself.
yeah, like that. But I think Lars von Trier is a really great director, but I did not like Nymphomaniac. I
That's too bad.
I really despise it, but I'm really really pumped for his new film, The House that Jack Built.
Yeah, me too.
It's I think he says like he has said in the past like, oh, this is going to be my last film because I'm too depressed, right?
Oh, has he been saying that?
Yeah, but I
Oh,
think he said that on Dogville. I think he said that as well.
yeah, he said that a couple times, hasn't he?
Yeah, but well, I think if this is his last film, I think this is going to be a great film. Well, will
I
be a
hope so.
great
Yeah.
film.
You think? I
Yeah.
wonder. Like, I wonder if is it going to be in two parts? Is it going to be like how long is it going to be? I'm curious to see like what your next step is as a director. If your last film was a two-part, like 5 hour pornographic epic, what's next after that? You know?
Oh, well,
How do
yeah.
you
Well,
continue to challenge yourself after something like that?
yeah, that's kind of hard, but I think I read somewhere that the character is kind of loosely based on Donald Trump or something.
Oh, really?
I think that I hope I'm don't quote me on that, but I
Okay.
think I
Interesting
think
though.
yeah. So I also wanted to ask you, have you seen the new season of Twin Peaks?
Yes, the return. Oh, we've got Steve
Yeah.
Buscemi in the chat. What director are we talking about? We were talking about Lars von Trier just a second ago. But now it
Yeah.
seems like we're moving on to Twin Peaks. By the way, hate to interrupt you, but I feel like I should throw an introduction in here right now. This is Video Drone, the show
All right.
where I talk about movies, sometimes by myself. This is the version where I have a guest. Today, my guest is, I apologize if I mispronounce your name, Cesar Villezcas?
Villescas, but it's all right.
Villezcas. Oh, I'm
It's all
sorry.
right. Don't sweat it. It's all right. Many people get it wrong even in my country, right?
Oh, well,
We
that's
get
comforting. Thank you.
well,
So, where are you right now? Where are you from?
well, I was born in Garden City, Kansas, but
Oh,
I moved to Peru when I was a very very small boy, and now I'm living here.
oh, cool. Are you? Is your family from Peru or?
Well, my dad is from, I think, from Mexico.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's from Mexico, and my mom is from Peru. So they met in Garden City, Kansas, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's yeah,
That's very cool.
that's kind of weird.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
you made the move to Peru. Very interesting.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and so yeah, Caesar sent me a message on Facebook, wanted to talk about movies. And I have somebody else scheduled for the official show tomorrow, and then next week, I don't believe there's going to be a show. There's not going to be a stream because that is when I'm going to make the long anticipated move to Portland. So I got Caesar on now, and we're just going to talk about movies and just relax and enjoy ourselves for a little while. And anyone else who wants to join, you're more than welcome. Hey, Zach Hayes is here too. Hello. So Caesar, you we were talking a bit about Gaspar Noé and Lars von Trier, and you just brought up Twin Peaks season 3. Did you just watch that?
Yeah, I watched it when it came out. I mean, the first four episodes when they aired, I promptly watched them, and I loved them.
You watched
I
them on television, like
Yeah,
as
I
they were.
think I think like Twin Peaks was originally broadcasted on Showtime, right, for the United States, I think.
Yeah, the most recent season. Yeah,
Yeah. So I saw it on Netflix because I think they signed a contract for South America to be streamed on Netflix,
the new
the new
season.
season.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah, that was very convenient. So I saw The Return, and I saw the first four episodes that they launched, and I really enjoyed them. I loved them because my favorite director ever is David Lynch.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and me and my girlfriend have watched all of his films, and
Hmm.
we're very big fans. And we watched The Return, and we were very intrigued, very confused, but
Along with
but
many others.
yeah, but we enjoyed it very much, and you can see that David Lynch has kind of like evolved and matured as an artist as well
Yeah.
in this new season, because I think with his film Inland Empire, you could see that he was going for a style was that he himself he created, not borrowing from others. And then Twin
Hmm.
Peaks, you can see that from Inland Empire.
You feel like the most recent season of Twin Peaks is kind of like an evolution of
Yeah,
what he started with Inland Empire?
yeah, I think.
Hmm. Interesting. Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's been a while since I've seen Inland Empire, but thinking about it, I remember there's a lot because it was shot all on like mini DV cameras. So I remember there's a lot of like handheld stuff, and the camera's kind of doing interesting things where it's getting kind of like right up in actors' faces and doing all these strange kind of disorienting movements. And
Yeah,
my impression from the Twin Peaks: The Return is it's very disorienting in its story and the things that it presents, but I remember a lot of stillness, a lot of control and precision, and just kind of objectively just kind of setting the camera, letting everything play out, much more of a detached quality.
yeah,
Whereas Inland Empire, I felt much more subjective, where the camera's kind of moving through all of these scenes and almost kind of like a participant in things. So to me personally, I guess just in style, they feel very different.
yeah. But visually, there are many things that I think they have in common. Like when the I think when Dougie becomes an orb, you can compare it to I think there's a scene in Inland Empire or something else that was made during Inland Empire that has that style of like it's a painting that's I don't know that if it's like made with stop motion, like they just
Oh
wrote it,
yeah,
something like that. Like it deflates. I don't remember very well, but
yeah, I know.
it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about. There are certain effects, yeah, in Twin Peaks: The Return. I remember, yeah, where it's kind of done in this style where it's yeah, made deliberately to look very artificial and kind of flat, almost as if it's like a Terry Gilliam animation or something like that. Kind of very two-dimensional, yeah, and stylized. I don't remember anything like that in Inland Empire though. It's been a while
I
since
th-
I've seen it though.
well, I think in Inland Empire we're in the final scene where well, yeah, the scene where Laura Dern shoots at the Polish guy, and there's like this face.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gosh, I love to. I keep saying this because, yeah, interestingly, Inland Empire keeps coming up several times when I do like streams and shows and stuff, and I keep saying I need to rewatch it. I really need to rewatch that one. So I'm gonna say it again. I need to. I need to rewatch it. It's been a while.
Yeah, it happens to me very often. Uh, yeah, I remember when I started watching movies. I started out with Stanley Kubrick and Quentin Tarantino,
Hmm. Good
and
choices.
yeah, and now a couple of years have passed since I saw like Clockwork Orange or even
Hmm.
Pulp Fiction, and then you come back to it and it's like, oh, it's really great. Like, yeah, it has aged well. That's the word.
Yeah, yeah. Do you ever have the experience where you see a movie very young and it makes a strong impression on you, and then you don't watch it for many, many years and you come back to it and it feels like a completely different film from the one you remembered. Has that
Oh
ever happened to you?
yeah, that has happened to me very often. Like, I
Ah, okay.
remember. Well, this might not be the best example, but I think with Jumanji, when I was very young, I was like, oh, I love the effects when I was young. I was like, wow, that's great. And then I saw it when I was like 16 again, and and I remember saying to myself like, wow, this is really this is
Oh,
it's not too bad, but I mean, it's not what I experienced as a young man.
yeah, yeah. It's been a while since I've seen that one, but that was a childhood favorite of mine as well. I remember watching Jumanji quite a bit. I think that was one of the VHS tapes I had just on constant
Oh yeah.
rotation. It was that one and the Super Mario Brothers movie and the Wizard, other stuff
Yeah,
like
those are
that.
very cool classics. Very cool classics.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a while
Yeah,
since I've
but
seen Jumanji though.
yeah.
But
Well, what do you think about the new It movie that just came out? Well, not just came out, like a few months ago, I think.
yeah, fairly recently. I actually
Yeah.
haven't seen the new It. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, it was a big surprise that it was actually good.
You liked it?
Yeah, I really liked it. I mean, there were some things that needed to be, I think, a little bit to be elaborated on, but overall was a great experience, and I liked the film, and I hope they make more.
Well, apparently they are working on the second part because it's going to be two parts, right? They got chapter one and chapter two.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, maybe that will be where they put all of the elaboration and kind of everything that was missing in the first one.
Oh yeah.
Because I
Oh,
remember
and
reading that book when I was in high school. I think I went through a phase where I just
mhm.
obsessively read Stephen King, like everything that was in my school's library. I just read it all, and it was one of the ones I read. I remember it was a very good book, but I haven't seen any of the film adaptations as of yet. There was the television one in like the mid '90s, I think.
Yeah, mid
And
'90s.
okay, yeah, and then there's the new one, but I have not yet seen either. But yeah, I've been hearing good things about the new one.
Oh yeah, it was actually very surprisingly good, and
That's good.
get it on Blu-ray so I can watch it again.
Yeah, I need to check it out. Yeah, whenever they put the Blu-ray out, I'll have to try and get a hold of that one from my local library or something.
Oh
Or I'll be
yeah.
in Portland actually by then, probably. So
Oh
I'm sure it'll be there. I'll find it somewhere.
yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
Um, oh,
oh yeah,
were you gonna say something? Sorry.
yeah. I was gonna ask you like, oh yeah, what films from this year, from 2017, have are your favorites, or think that will Academy Award, or I don't know, will become cult classics? I don't know.
Hmm. Trying to think. I don't tend to. Last few years have been pretty bad, yeah, about seeing new stuff. I'm trying to think what it was that I saw this year. I have movie tickets around here somewhere, but my cat is on my lap. He's got me trapped in the chair, so I can't look around for anything. But let's see. I saw Baby Driver,
All
Edgar
right.
Wright's new one, which I thought was very good.
Yeah.
I saw Blade Runner, the new Blade Runner, which I thought was a masterpiece. That's
Yeah.
probably been my personal favorite of the year. I thought Blade Runner 2049 was astonishing. Gosh, I know I've seen a couple others, but
Dunkirk.
I did not see Dunkirk. Did you see Dunkirk?
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, for me, it was very, very good, and the effects, the color, the setting, the soundtrack was really amazing.
Hmm. Yeah. Are you a fan of Christopher Nolan?
Oh yeah, I'm a very big fan.
Yeah, I love the way he puts stuff together. He has a very cinematic approach, I think.
Yeah, and
I
he's a he's very brilliant to actually get those ideas on a blockbuster film, and
yeah,
because usually when other directors try to put something as complicated as, I don't know, non-linear narratives, they end up, I don't know, just a cult thing, like for years to come. And some people will make a review about it and say, like, yeah, this movie was great. I don't know why it didn't actually caught on, right?
yeah, like Citizen Kane back in like the early 40s. Nobody could
Yeah,
understand it. Took a while for people to understand how brilliant that movie was.
yeah, because cinema is like, it's like wine. I mean, I think you have to,
Hmm.
like, an acquired taste, for me at least.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, definitely time, I think, is the best critic for films too.
Yeah.
You really can't tell what the best films are until like 10, 20 years have passed. And it's like the stuff that people are still watching and still talking about, and the stuff you can still watch and still be transported by. Like, those are the great ones. You can't really tell in the moment. It's only
Yeah.
much, much later after the fact.
Yeah, that's true. So I wanted to ask you something else. Like, I've been watching your channel a long time,
Oh, well,
and
thank
I
you.
remember, yeah, I remember you said something about not liking Quentin Tarantino or something like that.
That's right. Yeah, I think I've done, yeah. I think that's come up a couple times. But I've grown a bit. I've evolved a little bit. I think also, yes, cinema is never really a static thing. I mean, it is. Like once you make a movie, it's kind of like it's the same movie for forevermore, unless you're like George Lucas or somebody like that.
All right.
um, but yeah, kind of like once you create the movie, like that's it. That's the movie. But I feel like we as people are constantly changing, and so every time we come back to something, if a large amount of time has elapsed, it's kind of a new experience for us in a lot of ways, where we'll see new things, we'll react to different elements in the story or the film, we'll understand certain things, we'll perceive certain things, or maybe our taste will have changed a little bit, and
Mhm.
it can provide us with a new experience, all over again. And I think Tarantino, for me, he was one. When I started out watching his movies, I didn't really care for it so much. I wasn't. I liked Pulp Fiction, but it wasn't
Mhm.
one I was really big on. I didn't really like Reservoir Dogs. I enjoyed bits of Kill Bill.
Mhm.
Let's see. I really did not like Inglorious Bastards. I actually thought that was a
Wow.
bad movie.
Really?
Yeah, I've only seen it the one time, but yeah, I
Oh.
remember not liking it. Need to go back to it though. The only one of his movies that I really loved was Jackie Brown. That was the only one I completely adored that movie. But there hadn't really been another one. But then I saw Django Unchained,
Mhm.
and there was still stuff in it I didn't like, but I was very impressed by the visceral quality of that movie. Um, and just the way he kind of balanced, these very long dialogue scenes with these very fast and vicious action sequences.
Mhm.
I don't know, because it's kind of funny because Inglorious Bastards does the exact same thing, and I was
Yeah.
like, I do not like this. But then, yeah, seeing it in Django Unchained again, it was like, this is kind of like I'm kind of getting something out of this now. I'm kind of reacting to this in a way that I didn't react previously to his other films. And then I saw Hateful Eight, which I was really not expecting to enjoy at all. I was surprised. I actually thought Hateful Eight was very good, and I started getting into the kind of theatrical nature of it, and the very long dialogue sequences, and
Mhm.
the layers of the characters, the playfulness of the comedy, and the way that balances with the violence and the confrontational subject matter. So it's made me kind of want to go back and rewatch those earlier films that didn't
Yeah.
really appeal to me so much, because I feel like now there is something I'm starting to get I'm starting to understand a little bit more and enjoy about his work.
Oh, all right. Well, I actually think that Inglorious Bastards is a great movie, actually.
Okay. Um, so you said Quentin Tarantino, he was like one of the first ones you like really discovered when you were getting into movies?
Yeah, like, well, actually, when I was like 3 years old, I saw
Ooh.
Star Wars and
Oh,
Jurassic
okay.
Park
And
back to
Jurassic
back.
Park?
Yeah,
Pretty good.
I saw him back to back in a TV special, I think, and I was
Ah.
like, I want to make movies now. And I
At
was three
3
years old.
years old.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and so that love for movies has always been there. And when I was about 12, 13 years old, I think I saw an essay about Clockwork Orange and Pulp Fiction, I believe.
Oh.
And I said, "Wow, it looks really good." So I bought Clockwork Orange and Pulp Fiction, and I saw it with some friends, and I was just blown away by how on Clockwork Orange Kubrick does this amazing thing where he uh, puts music, classical music, with violence and just the cinematography and just
Yeah.
everything, how the characters, the soundtrack, everything. I was just blown away by it, and it was
Mm.
made in 1971, and it still made a huge impact on me
Yeah.
when I was 12 or 13 or 14 maybe. And then I saw Pulp Fiction, and I loved it. But when you analyze it on your mind, like there's some scenes like, why is this character talking about this? I mean, it's like it's just a random conversation, but you're actually interested by it. And I think Quentin Tarantino has a really great talent for that, for very mundane dialogues to kind of like become like quotable lines on the future, like the Coen brothers, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know, he makes it so interesting, or I think he writes these dialogues for certain actors.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I think.
he's got a voice, a very distinct, recognizable voice that I mean is immediately apparent anytime you hear someone in his movies talk or you see one of the movies. You know who it is. You know who that author is immediately.
Yeah, yeah, immediately like. So after those two movies, I said, well, let's watch something else, and I bought Reservoir Dogs, and I bought everything I could get my hands on that I hadn't seen already, and
Of Tarantino.
yeah, and Kubrick as well.
Yeah, of course, of course. Kubrick's like he tends to be, I think, like the director or one of the directors that I think for most people when they started really getting into movies, there was some Kubrick there that
Yeah,
played a part in it, whether it was like Paths of Glory or 2001 or yeah, Clockwork Orange. For me, it was 2001, but like Kubrick's, again, he's one of those ones like his stamp is so indelible. It's so apparent in every one of his movies that I think
yeah,
for
that
people, yeah,
is
with a
true.
taste, yeah, for people with a taste for cinema, it's like you watch one of his movies and you realize, oh, films are made by directors, and that's kind of like the catalyst, yeah, for really delving into cinema in that way. I think at least.
Yeah, that's very interesting you said that because you can kind of see that very great influence in like Paul Thomas Anderson's films.
Of like the voice of the author.
Like, yeah, and of Kubrick.
Oh, of Kubrick and Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, like on The Master, there's this scene
Oh yeah.
where like all the Marines or the sailors are like fighting on the beach, and kind of reminds you of the scene in 2001 where the monkeys are fighting for the water.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and God, where else? And I think There Will Be Blood. The opening shot is very like I don't know. It just hit me with that Kubrick vibe.
Yeah, that's interesting because yeah, that's funny because when I think of Paul Thomas Anderson, I actually like I tend to think of more of his more like a Boogie Nights or Magnolia. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, something like There Will Be Blood or The Master. Yeah, actually, thinking in that context, switching over to that, it's like, yeah, I feel like there is some Kubrick there in like that, like the cynicism and
Yeah.
the kind of cold style. Um, and yeah, I guess almost the nihilistic attitude on human beings, especially in There Will Be Blood. It's a very cynical movie.
Yeah, it's very, but goddamn, the last scene of the film was so great.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
I there it was playing on TV the other day, and
Oh,
it's like, oh, There Will Be Blood. I just kind of put it on, not really intending to watch it, but it's just one, it draws you in
yeah.
so effortlessly that like before you know it, you're just sitting down and you're watching the damn movie. It's so good.
Yeah, it is so good. I mean, I'm very, very excited for his new film, The Phantom Thread.
Yeah, yeah. Is that coming out this year? Do you know?
Yeah, I think it's on December
Oh, okay.
because I think he wants to like he wants to be considered for the Academy Awards.
Yes, of
I think.
course.
I mean, it's Daniel Day-Lewis's
Mhm.
last performance with a
The,
great director.
quote unquote, yes, last performance.
But I
He
think it's going
has,
to be really great because I mean, Paul Thomas Anderson has proven that he's not just oh, I'm just a kid who like made Boogie Nights and Magnolia. I mean, those are great films, but then he made Punch Drunk Love, and I was like,
yeah,
oh my god, yeah, it's getting serious. And then he comes with this great like I don't know if call it epic, but it certainly feels to me that way. Like There Will Be Blood. It's
I,
a great film.
yeah, I certainly feel that it's an epic.
Yeah, and then The Master, and then it comes. What was it? Inherent Vice
Yes.
comes along, and it had kind of like Boogie Nights vibe to it. I think for
Yeah,
me at
yeah.
least, it was a return to form. I think, but I think with the Phantom Thread, it's going to be a new line of storytelling because it doesn't seem to I mean, it doesn't remind you of like the Master or
Yeah.
There Will Be Blood. It's something new. It's something really strange.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to get like because I saw the trailer for it. I think they just released the first trailer and I
Yeah,
watched it. It really was not what I was expecting. It's a tough one to really like get a grip on and figure out like what's going on. You know, like is it a romance? Is it a drama? Is it a thriller? Like it seems to be a mixture of all these different things and it's very mysterious and kind of kind of I guess I don't know if confusing is the right word, but yeah, it's like hard to get a grip on of like understanding exactly
yeah,
what it is or what it's going to end up doing.
yeah. I certainly feel that way because it's like, whoa, this is new. This is a drama set in the 50s, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, about something about the fashion industry. Or I don't know. I don't know.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I remember that was the official synopsis way back. I think a few months ago. I was like, well, yeah, I mean, it's Paul Thomas Anderson. Then I saw the trailer and I was like, whoa, I don't know what to expect from it other than
yeah,
it's gonna be great.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely excited for Phantom Thread. Don't really know what to expect from it, so yeah, I'm
Yeah.
definitely excited for that one. I'm getting pretty excited for Guillermo del Toro's new movie as well, The Shape
Oh
of Water,
yeah, The Shape of Water. Yeah.
which I believe also comes out in December.
Yeah. It comes in January for me because
Oh,
it takes a while to get the rights here in Peru.
oh,
But
that sucks.
yeah, but I mean, it's kind of frustrating because when a Marvel film is released,
Uh-huh.
it's released on South America first rather than on
Oh,
on North America. and I'm not really a huge fan of Marvel anymore.
Mm. Yeah, same
Yeah,
here.
I yeah because I don't know why aren't you a fan of Marvel anymore? Because I think that the whole um thing died for me when they fired Edgar Wright for
Ooh.
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they knew that they had this great director, this great not just director, just he's kind of like a comedian as well, and
Yeah.
great like I don't know, he tells his story through like these transitions that are very great, like in Scott Pilgrim and Hot Fuzz. You
Mm.
can see like I mean it's the work of the editor, but you know that he chose the film to be like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah, he is, I assume, somebody that plans those things out very carefully.
Yeah, and when Marvel decided to you know fire him from Ant-Man, you're like, why? I mean, it was gonna be one of the greatest Marvel adaptations. I mean, Edgar Wright said that Ant-Man was his favorite superhero, and he had
Mm.
a script for years, and if you see the movie, you see that there are many Edgar Wright-ish things on the movie.
Yes, actually, I did. Yeah, I did feel that when I saw the movie. There were just certain, like, I think especially with the Michael Pena character and like the
Yeah,
dialogue and the cutaways with that character, that to me was like, that's very Edgar Wright. That I would not be surprised if they didn't change a word of those sequences.
yeah. But I mean, why don't you like Marvel anymore? What's your stand on it?
For me, um, I think when the superhero, I guess, craze, would you call it, when it really
Hmm.
started, it was actually very interesting because
Yeah,
it was kind of something that had never been done before. And to me, I think it was very director driven, and it was kind of like every superhero movie, every comic book movie that came along was really different from the one that preceded it. It was kind of like each director had their own take on the material or the way of doing a comic book movie. So,
yeah.
like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies, I thought were really good, the first two. But then you compare that with like Bryan Singer's first two X-Men movies, which I think are also very, very good. They're
Hmm.
miles apart. And then there's like Chris Nolan's Batman movies. There's Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy movies.
Yeah.
There's like Ang Lee's Hulk, like not one too many people are a fan of, but it's very different. It's very much like Ang Lee's specific take on the comic book genre. And I
Okay.
like that, how like each director was trying something different and kind of experimenting a little bit. But then once it became like the dominant the dominant like mode of filmmaking essentially in for studios for Hollywood,
Yeah.
then I feel like it became more of a situation where it was committees making the decisions, and it became a situation where you have somebody like Edgar Wright come in, who I'm sure has their own very specific take on the material, and it's like, no, we have a brand here. We have a thing that we're trying to do, a product that we're trying to sell. You need to conform to that, and we don't really want the specific artistry. We don't really want somebody's unique take on the material. We want them to kind of create something that just fits right into this, uniform, homogenized, like cinematic universe we've created. So it just became
Yeah.
a situation where, to me, like every single film felt exactly like the previous film and the subsequent film. I could no longer tell the difference. And at that point, I lost interest.
Yeah. I can see that. Like, it has become a brand, like you say. Like, there's
Yeah.
no motivation anymore. There's just let's just make money. Let's just make this comic book series into a thing, the kids will love it, right?
Yeah, and there are a lot of people that enjoy those movies, and I hold nothing against those people. If you whatever movies you like, I don't judge anybody for their taste. And there are people that they grew up with comic books, they love comic book worlds and universes and characters, and they love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Great, if that's really your thing, excellent. I more power to you. I think it's great to enjoy films, whatever
Yeah,
films they are. But for me personally, I'm much more driven by artists, directors, points of view, unique styles. And I feel like at
yeah,
this point, it's kind of been bled out of that genre
yeah.
almost.
That's the spirit. Like, if you're gonna make a superhero movie, don't just make it a studio movie. Don't make it predictable.
Yeah.
Make something different. Make play with the character, because I think Marvel is not even taking his, I mean, their stories very seriously, because if if I remember correctly, in Civil War, supposedly in the comics, a lot of characters die, and in the movie, no one
Oh,
dies, and they
yeah.
and
You,
they make
you don't want to spoil the potential for more sequels.
yeah, and like they even tease you with I think War Machine is about to die. It's like, oh my God, he's about to die. But lo and behold, his friend is Iron Man, and he has a lot of money, and he can he can build him new legs and things,
Oh,
right?
I haven't seen Civil War, so I don't know about it.
Well, yeah, you're not missing much other than that uh Spider-Man cameo thing.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Did you see the new Spider-Man?
I have not, but
Uh,
I plan to see it, to actually get into that, but I have not.
yeah, I've been
So
hearing good things. I've been hearing good things.
yeah, I have too. Like they say it's like, oh, it's actually a great movie. Like Peter
Yeah,
Parker, it's really But I don't know. I mean, I'm very disappointed by Marvel, and you know, and this is just gonna keep dragging along until even the fans are gonna be like tired of this, and they're gonna say like, yeah,
yeah, yeah. I keep expecting it, but I mean, like, just the movies keep making more and more damn money, so I don't know.
yeah. And well, now I think they're doing the same with Star Wars, which actually
Yeah.
it hurts me even more.
Did you
Yeah,
see the new Star Wars films?
yeah, I saw The Force Awakens like 5 times in the theater, and then
Ooh.
I realized that every time I went to the theater to watch it again, I was like, is this actually a good movie, or is it something else? Because I'm getting like, haven't I seen this already in some other
Oh,
movie?
okay. Yeah, it's just there's a
And
familiarity to
then
it all.
yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I have seen it. It's episode 4. Like, yeah, that's the thing. But there are many things I liked about it. Um, some of the special effects and the practical effects were okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I think Kylo Ren was great,
Hmm.
but I was very angry, I remember.
Ooh.
Very angry about Rey, not the fact that, she's a woman, or something like that,
Yeah, yeah.
It's about how she got the damn powers to be like a Jedi without actually training to be a Jedi.
Hmm.
Because I mean, I know they're probably gonna explain it in the next film,
Yeah.
but it feels very cheap because I mean, Kylo Ren was trained by Luke Skywalker, and he can't
Oh.
even put a dent on Rey. He has no chance, no chance.
Isn't it? I have not seen The Force Awakens. Is it revealed that
Oh,
she's actually Luke Skywalker's daughter, or are they kind of like just teasing at that at this point?
Like yeah, they're teasing that. There's there's nothing confirmed.
Okay, okay.
I think at one
Maybe
point in yeah, maybe, but
that's
I
the
think at
reason.
one point in the movie there's like a scene where you can hear Obi-Wan's voice,
Oh,
like Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan.
the Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
Is
And it's like okay. And then there's all these theories floating around like, oh, is Rey actually a daughter of Supreme Leader Snoke or something else, right?
Supreme Leader Snoke?
Yeah. Oh, you don't know about that
No,
character?
is he a new character?
Oh man, you're missing out on so many theories. He's this big Andy Serkis plays the Supreme Leader
Ooh, Andy
Snoke.
Serkis. That's good.
Yeah, he's a fully animated character, CGI character,
Of
and
course.
yeah, and he's like the new emperor, something like that.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, and the internet has gone crazy. They want to know, who is this guy? Is this guy actually Emperor Palpatine? Is he Kylo Ren from the future? There's outlandish
Ah.
theories about this guy.
Yeah, I
You
did.
just Google Snoke theory and you'll find one of the best there.
Yeah, I did not know about this character.
Oh yeah, you need to watch it. I mean, if even if you don't like Star Wars, you should definitely check it out just to have a good laugh at some scenes.
Okay. uh, Zach Hayes in the chat mentions the new Thor film. Have you seen that one?
Oh, I have not, but I want to see it because I think some of the special effects on that film look okay, and I think this movie is a bridge to the new Avengers movie, right?
Oh,
The fourth one, right?
they're on the fourth
The
one
third one,
already?
the third one, I think.
Oh, okay. Third one. And it's going to be two parts, right? That's the new thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I will say that um I a superhero movie I saw recently that I actually was genuinely impressed by was Logan. Did you see that one?
Oh yeah, I did saw Logan. And yeah, it was very impressive.
Yeah, that was one of those movies. Cat's taken off. That was that was one of those movies though where I felt like the director behind it really had a specific take on the material that was really
Hmm.
different, and really daring and risky and really tried to go all out. I just spit out a tiny little saliva bubble. Do you see that?
Oh yeah, I actually saw that.
Talking about David Lynch, one saliva bubble.
Oh yeah.
But what was I saying? Um, Logan, yeah. Um, I actually thought it was very good, like totally unconventional take on superhero movies, and X-Men movies. I thought they really like had a different kind of idea, and they committed totally to it, without concern like for, is this going to fit in with the rest of the stuff? Is there going to be potential for more sequels? I thought they just kind of like they devoted as much as they could to that take on the material and stuck with it all the way through. And I was very impressed by it. That to me
Yeah.
felt like um, an artist's specific take on that kind of material. And to me, it kind of felt like Thor. The new Thor might be that too, because it's like a Taika Waititi, if I'm saying his name correctly.
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
he's definitely a filmmaker with his own, sense of humor, his own style, and it looks like they really kind of just let him go wild with the new Thor and just throw in all these crazy ideas. And it's been getting great reviews, so it's like, I don't know, maybe superhero movies are kind of realizing it's becoming a little bit stale and are trying to, reinvigorate it now with new personalities, new ideas, new talents.
Yeah, oh, if it's like that, then yeah, that'll be actually great.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah. So, I wanted to ask you something. Oh yeah, have you seen the new I think said pictures about? I mean, the new Harmony Korine movie.
Ooh, I've only heard like the barest details about it.
Yeah, so Matthew McConaughey is gonna play like this character named Moondog.
Moondog.
Yeah, that's very Harmony Korine,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be like this comedy, like Cheech and Chong style. I think Harmony Korine said that.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I know it's
so it's actually shaping up to be something actually good.
yeah, well, I'm a big Harmony Korine fan.
Yeah, I think I saw. I think he once recommended a Harmony Korine film. Mr. Lonely, was it?
Yes, that is my personal favorite of his.
Oh yeah, I saw that video and then I bought it, and yeah, it's one of my favorites as
Oh,
well.
you liked it.
Thanks to
Oh,
you.
good.
Yeah,
That-
it's very like it's very great. It's very sad. It's very
yeah.
funny sometimes. It's almost it almost doesn't feel like a Harmony Korine film.
Yeah,
It's
it was a real change of pace for him because like his first two movies, Gummo and Julian Donkey Boy, they're so dark and
yeah,
so nihilistic. And Mr. Lonely
yeah,
is also very dark. And like you said, yeah, it definitely has its moments of sadness and melancholy, but it's a much funnier and more kind of just bright and optimistic film than he had ever made up to that point. I think
yeah.
even still
It's
to
actually
what's that?
no, yeah. It's actually very kind of optimistic in some parts, right?
Yeah, like to me it feels like a very life affirming film. I feel like it's a very joyous film in a lot of ways. And I think still like even like the stuff he did after that, like Trash Humpers is incredibly dark. I guess Spring Breakers, there's a lot of like impish, humor in that one, a
Yeah,
lot of subversion and playfulness to it. But also like pretty dark in tone, I think. But
yeah,
Mr. Lonely is just this absurd kind of clownish just a just nonsense
yeah,
that I love it so much every time I watch it. You
yeah. I
know,
mean, the sequence where Werner Herzog is flying the
yes,
plane,
I
that's
was
my
just
favorite.
gonna I was just gonna bring it up.
Yeah,
Werner
that's one.
Herzog, yeah, as the priest.
Yeah, that's what the scene with the I mean the guy who flies the plane, Emilio, I think.
You talking about the guy that's on the runway?
Like he wants to fly the plane to deliver flowers to his wife.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that dialogue was just had me in stitches every time, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's apparently like that wasn't scripted or that guy wasn't an actor. Like he was just a real guy that they found there that day and just put
Oh
him in
my
the
god.
movie. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's really funny, but also just like it's heartbreaking too, because the guy's like he actually
He actually cries, right?
yeah, yeah, he actually cries and breaks down. It's like you feel so many like different contradictory emotions, all in that scene. You're laughing, but at the same time, you're also like really heartbroken for this guy too.
Yeah. Well, I'm very glad I found out about your channel because you're one very passionate guy about film,
Well, thank
like
you.
me, I
Thank you
think.
very much. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, I think you deserve I mean, much more views because there are many YouTubers that talk about film in such a way it's like a 3 minute review or of something, but you dive into like the specifics of the movie. Like I remember the Irreversible Art House Fever one
Yeah.
was very it had a lot of information that still can't find on the internet. Like and um and I was like, wow, this is the best movie ever. If it's like that, right?
Yeah.
And so I want to thank you for that, and I want to congratulate you for everything you've done.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, and also I wanted to ask you something in the lines of cinema, Spanish cinema, if you will.
Yes.
Like, are you familiar with a lot of Spanish movies? Like,
Spanish language movies?
yeah, Spanish language movies.
Um, I try to be. I know, yeah, I've seen many Spanish language movies. Um, but probably, yeah, probably not as many as I should have. I
Yeah.
think I said the same thing. Somebody asked me about Russian movies not too long ago. It's like I've
Ooh.
seen a few, but there's still so many more out there that I have yet to see. Um,
Uh,
but Spanish language, I actually just watched one the other day. I watched Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu's first movie, Amores Perros. I rewatched that one the other day.
oh, that's a great film.
Yes, yes, it is by a great director.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
He's an actual like. I mean, I was blown away by The Revenant
yeah.
when I
Me
saw
too.
it on theaters. I was like, wow, this
Yeah,
guy is the future.
yeah, yeah. He's doing stuff
Yeah,
that,
like
yeah, I feel like hasn't really been done before. It's like it's almost shocking in The Revenant, like how intimate the camera gets with the actors, of just how the lens, is like inches away from the actor's face. You get so up close and just like there's nowhere for the actors to hide, and they've got to be in these intense emotional scenes, and they've got to be, completely
mhm.
authentic because like the camera's right there and they've really got to deliver. It's pretty amazing. I think it's a stunning achievement, that film.
Yeah, it had a lot of Tarkovsky influence in it.
Yeah, yeah, actually.
Very much like it reminded me of some of Ivan's childhood and Stalker and even The Sacrifice.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it had that vibe. And I don't know. I feel like Iñárritu is going to be a great. He's going to be the new like the new auteur everybody looks up to.
yeah, if not already.
Yeah, because I mean, you move from Birdman and then The Revenant, like just a year from each other. It's
Yeah,
great.
and
It's great. So
yeah, and he said like both of those were so difficult to do. He's probably not really gonna make another movie for a couple years, which understandable. But yeah, I definitely been very eager to see what he does next.
he made I think a virtual reality
Yeah, I
short
heard about
film.
that. Yeah, yeah, the virtual reality one. I think it's
Yeah,
called Blood and Sand.
yeah, Carne and Arena. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Have you seen that?
No, I have not, but it was so good that they actually brought it to Mexico so people could experience it. I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I think United States will have the chance of actually experiencing it again because I think it was at a film festival they were showing it,
Is
and
it one? Do you have to like wear glasses, or how does that work if it's in virtual reality?
yeah, so like I so like I saw this review by this guy, and he said like it's like so the whole thing is about immigrants
Yeah,
uh, crossing the border. So they kind of so they ask you to take off your shoes and everything and to put in a locker, I think, or to put it on the floor, and they put a backpack on you and they put some like Oculus Rift thing on your head,
Wow.
and you have to walk. You can freely walk through a room, and you see all these images of like a very realistic experience of people crossing the border, trying to cross the border and being apprehended by police officers, I think.
Wow.
And a lot, yeah, it's really shocking because a lot of people, were very emotional when they saw that thing,
Yeah.
because it's very realistic. And I think in this day and age, you can't replicate such a thing. I mean, it's very difficult to do. Um, I think the only time I've been very moved by something so realistic, I think, was with Irreversible, because it was very gruesome, very realistic, and very relentless
Yeah.
how the story was developed, because it starts with this like if kind of like if you're descending into hell with
Yes.
this
Yeah. Yeah.
soundtrack.
It's
And then
unrelenting.
you see how it happened, and then you see when it's gonna happen, and you see the part where Vincent Cassel and Monica Bellucci are very, they love each other, right? And then you
Yeah.
see the ending, and it's like, oh my god, this is this is really sad. So
Yeah. Yeah.
there are not many experiences I have felt where it's very realistic, and that it gets you in that sentimental state. It's very hard.
Sorry, my cat's he's climbing on top of my microphone setup and everything. Um, but yeah, I'm right there. Yeah, I'm definitely with you on Irreversible. It's a devastating experience that it ends, yeah, on such a peaceful note, but yeah, with the knowledge of how that of how that happiness, that tranquility is about to be shattered. It really hits you in a profound way that I
Yeah,
don't think would have been there. Yeah, if you just had it in reverse, you would have been horrified and probably extremely nauseated. But by reversing the story like that, to me, it yeah, I think it reaches you on a much deeper emotional level rather than a pure visceral level, which it starts out
yeah,
hitting you with, and then by the end, it's dug a lot deeper.
yeah. Yeah, very, very true. And I've been very like intrigued by how Gaspar Noé like captures that, like, oh, this event is gonna destroy the lives of not just one or two people, like a lot of people
Yeah.
are going to be devastated by this single event. That's what I'm trying to do, because I try to make short films, and I have a couple, I think, on my YouTube channel. And
You'll have to
and
give me a link. I can put it in the description.
oh, all right. I'll pass you the link right now.
Okay.
So, like I was saying, uh, I try to make short films in the vein of like David Lynch, or uh, Paul Thomas Anderson. Like, I'm writing a lot of short films in that vein. I have one short of I think some works of David Lynch.
Very surreal and I'm guessing dark and strange.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
is
kind
that
of
the
like that.
is that the one you're working
And
on right now?
no, it's already out, but I'm
Oh,
working on some very more mature short films. And like, here on South America, it's actually very difficult to get uh someone to finance your short
oh,
films.
really?
But yeah, because not to talk really. badly about my country, but here in Peru we don't have that culture that I mean France or the United States or other countries have with film.
Is there not really like a
Uh,
strong infrastructure for like for the creation of movies?
oh, not that is. I mean, people go for the easy route. They just write dumb comedies and just really. I mean, they know what they're doing and they just keep doing it, and it's very frustrating because they're actually content creators out from here from Peru that really try to get recognized, but these giants just crush them instantly.
Oh,
And so I'm trying to work my way into getting to know people that are very into the that know people that can do movies, so I can just you know I don't care if I pour a lot of money into a short film. All I want to do is just make films
yeah, yeah,
because cinema is so powerful. There's nothing else like it. I mean, you see something like a serial killer on the news, and you're like, oh wow, okay, like you don't pay much attention to it.
yeah,
But when you see it on film, when you see something so brutal or so touching or something else, you react very differently
yeah.
because
You're forced to
it's
confront it in, I guess, a much more empathetic way.
yeah, actually yeah. And so that's what I want to do. I want to make. So I now have like written about four short films and maybe even a feature, but uh, the one I'm about to release in a few months, I think, because we're working with a special effects guy.
Ooh.
It's kind of like in the vein of some of the works of H.P. Lovecraft,
Oh, very
because
cool.
there's not many uh, H.P. Lovecraft inspired content out there.
Yeah.
There's I mean, you have people like Guillermo del Toro who maybe have like a tribute to him in some
Yes.
scene or other. So what I'm trying to do is make a short film, uh, actually making a series of short films, of horror short films, and this one that I'm about to release in a few months, it's kind of like Eraserhead meets uh, some of H.P. Lovecraft's short stories.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was I have the special effects monster here in my house, if you will, and it actually ended up pretty good. So
Wow. Is it like practical? Is it stop motion? Are you doing it with computers or
practical.
CGI?
No,
Practical.
it's practical. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
uh,
It's gonna
like
be.
do you not want to spoil too much of it, but like is it like a stop motion thing or like a puppet?
Mm, yeah, kind of like a puppet in the way of Eraserhead, but
Oh.
it's there's gonna be some like digital tweaking done to some of the movements he makes,
Okay.
some of the uh I will keep you informed of it. You be sure of that
Please do.
because
Please do.
we're making a series of short films um inspired heavily by David Lynch and H.P. Lovecraft and Gaspar Noé even. I'm trying to make something even more gruesome and realistic
Hmm.
later.
Okay.
So yeah, and I have it right now, and my crew is actually very excited to be working on this, and you'll be the first to get the link. So
Oh, cool. Thank you. Thank you very
yeah,
much.
don't worry about it. So uh, we're planning to film in about I think we're gonna film in about a few weeks. We
Wow.
need to get some other special effects thing like guns,
Hmm.
like but I don't want like to make like those cheap muzzle flares like
Yeah.
that they do. Like so we're gonna rent some uh guns like prop guns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the ones in The Godfather or something like that.
Ooh. And you're gonna like do like blanks, like physical, like pyrotechnics.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be
Oh,
a lot of
very
that.
cool.
Yeah, I wanna I'm very influenced by you know Kubrick and Paul Thomas Anderson and all
Yeah.
these great filmmakers, and the only way to do it is do it in a way that you're gonna shock the audience. I think Mikhail Haneke, you know
Oh
him?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he once said that if you want to make an impression on people and if you want to make a great movie, you have to put something really shocking on your movie because people will talk about it, people will distribute it themselves and like word of mouth, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so and I think he's very right about it. You see films of his like Cachet,
Yeah.
Hidden, right?
Yeah.
And the scene where, well, I don't want to spoil it if you
Yeah.
haven't seen it. Yeah, well, that famous scene, right? The confrontation, right?
Yes, I believe I know which scene you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is out of nowhere. You just out of nowhere, just like wow.
Yes, and not emphasized at all.
Yeah, and you're left with this with a bunch of answers. I mean, of questions
Yes.
rather. I mean,
Yeah.
but not a lot of answers. And I think someone who does that as well is Lars von Trier.
Yeah.
He does that as well in his movies. I remember when I watched Antichrist, I was blown
Ooh.
away by how he made such a, I don't know, it reminded me sometimes of David Lynch even in some sequences.
Yeah, the nightmarish quality of it.
Yeah, and the synthesizer
Oh, yeah, the sound design, yeah, was really
yeah,
remarkable in that movie.
yeah, it's one of my favorite films of all time.
Yeah, I think it's great. Do you
And
know about the sound design in Antichrist? Have you heard about that? How they did it?
no,
Th-
I would like to hear about it.
They created the sounds and like the drones and tones you hear all throughout the film. They were all created with organic sources. The sound designer actually went out and he just made noises on like logs and grass and leaves, all with nature. And then they used electronic equipment to distort and manipulate the sounds to create the entire soundtrack and sound design for that movie. So it's all kind of like these organic sources that have been distorted in all these different ways. It's very, very cool the way they did it.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
I think sound design is an underrated aspect of movies because if it's working really well, you shouldn't be noticing that it's there, you know?
Yeah, very true.
So you've got a movie, so you're gonna start working on this Lovecraftian Lynchian horror film. You're gonna start shooting that very soon.
Yeah, in about 2 weeks, I think.
Wow, very
And
cool.
yeah, and I'm planning to make something, another project, in kind of like kind of like Taxi Driver or
Oh,
Clockwork Orange. I don't know.
like
I'm very interested about like the subject of revenge, but
oh,
revenge is actually wrong, like
yeah,
Park Chan Wook
yes,
does. Yeah, I'm very interested by it, and I think I want to make a lot of films. They're written, the scripts are there, so I just have to find the time
yeah,
and because if you love movies, you just I don't know, you just start selling stuff to pay the actors
Yeah.
or to get the cameras
Yeah.
or something. And that's what I want to do, man.
Well, I will eagerly support your work. When you, yeah, when you finish something, I'd be happy to have you back on the show to talk about it, try and get people to watch it. I think it's very cool. Yeah, your dedication that you're going out and you're making all this stuff happen. I think that's very inspiring. And yes, I want to support the hell out of it.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing these movies.
Yeah, you'll be the very first to get it, right?
Cool. Thank you. And I guess as we're coming up to the end of the show here, I would like to ask you, do you have any movies to suggest for me, like movies from Peru or just like underrated things? Is there anything you'd kind of like to put out there? Say, hey, people should check these movies out. These are underrated, underseen.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. It's oh well, let me think. There's this film that I saw recently. It's not Peruvian. It's Wong Kar-wai.
Oh,
So I saw Chungking Express,
very good movie.
and okay. So if you want to know about Peruvian cinema, I'm gonna have to actually write it down on the chat, right? Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
there's this great film director named Armando Robles Godoy.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. Armando.
Okay.
I'm writing his name down. Armando Robles. The little bubble disappeared. Where'd it go? Oh, okay. Godoy. Godoy.
Yeah. And this new film, well, not new, it's been out for 30 years, but it's a classic. It's a Peruvian classic. Uh, from this director, Francisco Lombardi.
Francisco Lombardi.
Yeah, and the film name, yeah, La ciudad y los perros.
La ciudad y los perros.
Yeah.
Ciudad, Ciudad y los perros.
Hmm.
And that's by Francisco Lombardi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and um, I oh yeah, there's this crazy Peruvian film, but it's very hard to get. But if I do get a copy, I'll send it to you.
Oh, thank you.
It's called Videofilia.
Videofilia.
It's kind of like Enter the Void meets I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. I'll link you the trailer.
Okay.
All right, I think it's there. All right, here it is. Here it is. So check it out. I think you can order it from their website, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually very cheap. I think it's like $10 or $5.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'll have to be sure to put some of the stuff in the chat, or not the chat. I mean the description for the video, so other people
Yeah.
can find it too.
All right. So yeah, so there are the names. Oh yeah, I actually left you a link to the short I made.
Oh, very cool. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm seeing that stuff.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so the first link is your short. I will be sure to put that in the description so other people can watch that. And yeah, some of these names and suggestions. Yeah, and the other stuff. Yeah, so yeah, I will definitely have to check out the short that you sent me the link to. Hopefully other people will too. and hopefully we see you back here. I wish you lots of luck in your filmmaking endeavors,
Thank you.
and I wish you success.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
yes, it was a lot of fun talking with you and sharing a passion for movies.
Yeah.
Very much enjoyed this.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for actually introducing me to very good movies.
Of course, my pleasure.
So yeah, thanks a lot for this opportunity, man.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, glad to have you.
All right. Thank you.
All right, everyone, check out Caesar's movies, and stay tuned for more of his work. And thanks for tuning in and watching and hanging out. Hope you had as much fun as we did. Caesar, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, have a good one. Everyone else, you as well. Have a good one. Once again, good luck with everything. I hope it all works out.
Thank you. Likewise, dude.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye bye. Bye, everyone.